What if we have it all wrong? What if the way we have been conditioned to think about the villain is completely wrong? What if our calculations and our perceptions are way off? What if the villain is actually the hero in the story? Today's video is going to be a very insightful video. It's going to give you better insight on how the world works through a example of entertainment. I'm going to use the villain. You often know in a movie or in a show, there's a protagonist and an antagonist, right? The good person and the villain. And we're going to analyze this concept and kind of understand where people are going wrong at. And it's going to help you better understand the real world and how the real world actually functions and maneuvers. So before we get too far into this video, I'm going to need you guys to hit the like button and comment your thoughts below. If you've had this awakening recently, or you've kind of been, this has piqued your interest. So it's very interesting, isn't it, that they don't give really a backstory as to why the villain is the villain. They often just kind of just place this guy in this category and this guy in that category, and the good guy can do no wrong and the bad guy can kind of do no right. There's no reasons why they are good or bad. They're just good and they're just bad, right? Very off from how the real world and how people really think. The concept of good and evil is actually a false concept. It does not exist in the real world. And I could debunk it right now with this statement that I'm about to state to you guys. How many of you guys actually see yourself as the bad person in your own story? You don't see yourself in a bad light. So what really is the villain when it comes to the story? Well, in actuality, the villain is the person that's tired of being taken advantage of and decides to fight back. He notices that people are full of shit. He notices that people are have ulterior motives. They don't care about their plight, about their personal things. So they take it upon themselves to display power, strength, to display certain types of ruthlessness and selfishness, because they know that the world doesn't care about them. People don't care about them. So it forces them to be more selfish and ruthless, right? So knowing that, this is where the asshole concept comes from. You know, guys say that women like assholes, all these different types of things, right? Women or say, well, I don't like assholes, when they go through a list or have dated numerous assholes or been around or slept with numerous guys that were assholes. The thing about this is they're not really assholes. They're very ruthless in their approach to life, meaning that they want what they want out of life. They're very intentional. They're very devoted to their purpose and to their cause, which brings me to another point. Have you guys noticed that the hero is really the simp, because he actually has to go out and save somebody to prove himself to a woman to get the woman? See, the villain is naturally on his purpose. The villain is naturally doing what he wants to do with or without a woman. And it so happens that in some cases, the villain is very captivating to women. The villain has multiple women in some cases. Why? Because he's actually on his purpose. He actually doesn't overvalidate the woman. And the reason why he knows this concept is because he's been red pilled through his journey of whenever he didn't have anything, whenever he was struggling, when people didn't care about him. He knows that women only want you whenever you're winning. So he sees women for what they are. He knows if he loses all tomorrow, they'll leave him. But the hero is a little bit more naive. See, a hero will drop what he's doing to go save a woman. A villain will not. And this is why in real life, women like assholes, because the asshole actually sees the guy or sees the woman for what she is. He doesn't put her on a pedestal. And women like that subconsciously. When you put a woman up on a pedestal, it does two things. She thinks that you're full of it because you're constantly giving her over validation cues. So she thinks you're gassing her head up unnecessarily, or it triggers her hypergamy. Meaning that, okay, if this guy thinks I'm perfect, then that means I could get a better guy. So the villain is actually living in reality. He's more pragmatic. He's more purpose driven because he knows nobody's going to do it for him. Nobody's going to come and save him. He has to do his mission and be dedicated to it in order to get the results out of life that he wants. And this is a concept, guys, that it's going to be very hard for some of you to grasp. But once you accept it and once you see it for what it is, it's going to better help, I would say, your situation and your plight in life. You guys ever heard the saying that Harvey Dent said in The Dark Knight, where he said you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain? It's completely, I would say it's more true than not. Now, I'm not going to say it's 100% true, but definitely it's around 80, 90% true in my estimation. Either you go out like King Leonidas in the Battle of Thermopylae, you either go out fighting on top and you pass away and people erect statues to you and people remember you and grieve over you because you've had a long journey and a good run, or you live long enough to see people turn on you, right? Which is a very interesting concept. Have you guys noticed that people build you up just to tear you down? Like when you're on your way up, people are rooting for you. It's the underdog story. People are rooting for you. They see you moving up. Oh man, he's making progress. He came from nothing. He's beating the odds. He's doing everything he needs to do. Man, keep going, keep pushing, keep pushing. Then once you get to the top, you're like, yeah, you made it. But then once you get to the top and you maintain being at the top, the people start looking up, they're like, he's getting a little cocky. And then another person comes around, it's like, yeah, I used to be his cousin and he used to come around. Now he don't come around no more. The next person says, well, he did such and such to me back in the day and I never really forgave him about it. It was something that he did in my childhood. Now you have a whole crowd of people that are paying not to see you win, but to see you fall. They're tuning in to watch your games. They're tuning into your show. They're tuning in just to see you lose. They secretly want you to lose. And Drake has talked about this in numerous songs. I can't remember the songs right now, but he's talked about this concept before too. When you're on your way up, people love you. Once you get to the top and you maintain being at the top, people turn on you. Now you become the villain. Now all the good deeds that you did, now all the struggles that you had to beat to overcome means nothing. Harsh reality about the crowd. So hopefully this video gave you guys some insight and some vital insight to how the world really works and how certain things can change on a dime. Some of you guys might disagree, which is cool. Not forcing you to believe in this. I'm just kind of giving you some information to kind of open up your mind to certain things so you're not shocked when certain things happen. But that's my video. You guys like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you like the video. I'll see you guys on the next one. I appreciate you guys watching to the end. You guys have a good day, good week. We'll see you in the next one, man. Peace.